You can drive for decades, but you might still be surprised to learn there are small tips that make your car last longer, save more fuel, and stay much safer. These aren't word-of-mouth tricks or advertising gimmicks, but real experiences from seasoned drivers, small habits that make a big difference. From starting your car correctly on cold mornings to keeping the AC running cool and strong, to cooling your brakes after a long drive. Each tip in this list will show you that caring for your car doesn't have to cost much. Just know how. If you find this a helpful reminder, please like. Don't turn off the engine right after a long drive. Many people have the habit of turning off the engine as soon as they get home. But if you've just driven a long distance, climbed hills, or tackled slopes, that small action can cause a massive heat shock to your engine. After continuous driving, the engine oil is still hot, and the lubricating oil is circulating at high speed to cool internal components. When you suddenly turn off the engine, the oil flow stops immediately, trapping heat inside the engine, especially in the turbo or combustion chamber. Over time, this can burn the oil, darken it, create sludge, or cause uneven metal expansion, leading to the engine deteriorating twice as fast. If you pay attention, you'll notice taxis or trucks rarely turn off their engines right after stopping. They let the car idle for a bit, not out of laziness, but to give the engine time to cool down naturally. Just 30 to 60 seconds of idling is enough for the oil to keep circulating, carrying excess heat away from components. For cars with a turbo, this helps cool the turbo shaft, preventing oil burn or damage to the turbo bearings, a part that can cost thousands of dollars to replace. The habit of shutting off the engine too quickly also prevents the radiator fan from completing its cooling cycle, causing coolant to stagnate in the hot engine bay, which can lead to rust or deposits in the radiator over time. The fix is simple. After stopping, shift the gear to P or N, ease off the gas, let the car idle for a minute, then turn it off. If you've been driving fast and stop in a parking lot, you can slightly open the hood to let heat escape faster. 10. Overtaking safely on narrow roads. On narrow two-way roads, every experienced driver has felt the tension of overtaking the vehicle ahead. You check your mirrors, signal, press the gas, and your heart races as an oncoming car speeds toward you. A single second of error could lead to a head-on collision. Overtaking seems simple, but it's one of the most dangerous driving situations. Many drivers act on instinct, misjudging distance and speed, and end up stuck between lanes, unable to move forward or back. The first rule of safe overtaking is to read the situation carefully before accelerating. Don't just focus on the car ahead. Check your mirrors to see if anyone is overtaking you and look for curves or hills ahead. If your view is blocked, it's best to be patient. Only overtake when you can clearly see at least 500 feet ahead and are certain no cars are coming. When you decide to overtake, do it decisively without hesitation. A lesser-known tip. If you're overtaking and notice an oncoming car, signal the direction you plan to swerve. This helps both drivers understand each other and avoid veering to the same side of the road, a small detail that can save you in an emergency. If there's not enough space, don't try to squeeze between two cars. Return to your lane as soon as possible, maintaining a steady speed to avoid being rear-ended. Also, when overtaking, never tailgate the car in front too closely. Being too close blocks your view of the road ahead and reduces your reaction time if the car suddenly brakes. Keep a distance of about 2 car lengths to maintain visibility and have enough momentum to accelerate during the overtake. 9. Extending the life of your windshield wipers. Many people only think about their windshield wipers when it's raining, forgetting them entirely during the dry season. But when they need them, and the glass stays streaky, the wipers don't clean well or they make a squeaking noise. It's already too late. In reality, wipers don't just clear rain, they protect your visibility. With proper care, their lifespan can double. First, never run the wipers on a dry windshield. The rubber on the wiper blades will rub directly against the glass, generating heat and causing the rubber to harden or tear. If you need to clear dust, spray washer fluid first, then activate the wipers. When refueling, take a few seconds to wipe the windshield with the station's cleaning tool, but check the tool for sand or metal particles, as even a small speck can scratch the glass. If you notice the wipers skipping the middle of the windshield, the blade may have worn unevenly, curving into a C shape. Before rushing to replace it, try removing the wiper and gently bending it back slightly to restore pressure. Many experienced mechanics use this trick to extend wiper life by a few months. In winter, lift the wipers when parking overnight to prevent the rubber from freezing to the windshield. Pulling a stuck wiper in cold weather can tear the blade or bend the arm. In summer, when parking under harsh sunlight, place a thin cloth under the wipers to reduce heat transfer from the glass to the rubber. Also, don't forget regular maintenance. Once a week, wipe the wiper blades with a damp cloth to remove dust, oil, and tree sap, silent enemies that make rubber deteriorate faster. 8. Using the AC smartly in summer. In the summer heat, opening your car door feels like stepping into an oven. The hot air hits you, and touching the steering wheel or seats can burn. Most drivers' first instinct is to crank the AC to max, set the fan to full blast, and choose the coldest setting. But this habit makes your car burn more fuel, weakens the AC over time, and can even damage the cooling system. Using the AC smartly not only cools the car faster, but also saves fuel and extends the system's life. When your car has been parked in the sun, don't turn on the AC right away. Open all the doors for a few seconds to let the hot air escape. If you're in a hurry, lower the rear windows and open and close the driver's door a few times to create airflow, and the heat will drop noticeably in seconds. Once inside, drive slowly for 1 to 2 minutes before turning on the AC. This prevents the compressor from overworking in a high heat environment, avoiding thermal shock to the system. While driving, use the fresh air mode for the first few minutes to let air circulate, then switch to recirculated air to maintain coolness. If you start with recirculation, the hot air trapped in the cabin will cycle repeatedly, forcing the AC to work twice as hard. 7. Getting unstuck from mud, sand, or snow. Getting stuck in mud, sand, or snow is something every long-distance driver encounters at least once. The wheels spin wildly, mud flies everywhere, and the harder you press the gas, the deeper the car sinks. The feeling of helplessness, especially with no one around to help, leaves many drivers just sighing in frustration. But in reality, with a few correct techniques, you can free yourself without needing a tow truck. The first thing to remember is not to floor the gas pedal. When the wheels lose traction, pressing harder only makes them spin faster and dig deeper. Instead, gently rock the steering wheel back and forth to create new grip points. If the car still doesn't move, shift between drive and reverse, gently rocking the car to build momentum, but don't do this more than 8 times, as it can overheat the transmission or damage the gears. A highly effective trick is to let some air out of the tires. Reducing tire pressure by about half increases the contact area with the ground, improving grip. Once you're free, reinflate the tires immediately. If you have a shovel, clear away dirt or snow around the wheels to create a path for the car to slide out more easily, like this post, so more people can see this information. 6. Starting your car correctly in cold weather. In winter, many drivers worry about their car not starting when the temperature drops low. On a cold morning, you turn the key repeatedly, but the engine won't start. The dashboard lights dim, and the starter sounds weak. These are familiar signs of starting the car incorrectly in cold weather. In fact, with a few small changes, you can make your car start smoothly, save the battery, and protect the electrical system. When the temperature drops below 14 degrees, engine oil thickens and the battery weakens because chemical reactions slow down. If you rush to turn the key right after getting in, the sudden draw of power to the starter motor can overload both the battery and the starter coil. Over time, this shortens the battery's life, burns out the starter motor, and turns morning starts into a nightmare. Instead, start with a simple but effective step. Turn on the headlights or heater fan for 3 to 5 seconds before starting the engine. This activates the electrical system, waking up the battery and stabilizing voltage. Then, turn off all electrical devices like lights, the radio, and heated seats before turning the key or pressing the start button. When starting, hold the key for only 5 seconds. If the engine doesn't catch, wait a few minutes before trying again. Don't hold it too long, as the starter motor can overheat and burn out its coils. For older cars with carburetors, lightly press the gas pedal to help the fuel-air mixture flow evenly, making the engine catch faster. 5. Watch the wheels, not just the turn signals. One of the most important but rarely mentioned driving skills is observing the wheels of other vehicles, especially in crowded city streets or on narrow roads. Most people rely on turn signals to predict the direction of the car in front, but the truth is, many accidents happen because signals come too late. Some drivers signal after they've already started turning, others forget to signal, and some even signal left but turn right by mistake. If you only trust the blinking light, you might not have time to react. Experienced drivers make it a habit to watch the front wheels of the car next to or ahead of them. The moment the wheels start to turn, you know their intention to change direction, often before the turn signal even flashes. This gives you an extra 1-2 seconds to react, which may sound small, but in reality, it's enough to brake safely or avoid a regrettable collision. Watching the wheels is especially useful in slow-moving traffic, like in residential areas, parking lots, or busy intersections. In these tight spaces, everyone's in a hurry, and a sudden turn can trigger a chain of collisions. By observing the wheels, you can not only predict the direction, but also gauge the speed and even the driver's level of distraction. Shaking or slightly wobbling wheels often signal someone changing direction or straying from their lane. 4. Make use of your car's anti-theft mode. Modern cars don't just come with airbags or crash sensors, they're equipped with advanced security features. One of these is active anti-theft mode, but sadly, many people never notice it or don't know how to use it correctly. By understanding and utilizing this feature, you can stop thieves from driving off with your car, even if they've managed to start it. The anti-theft mode works smartly. If your car is stolen or someone takes control, you can remotely disable the engine using a key fob or a phone app, depending on the car model. When activated, the system cuts the fuel supply and disables the engine, bringing the car to a safe stop even while it's moving. This feature is incredibly useful in situations like a carjacking at a red light, or if a thief slips into your car while you're checking the tires. The key is to always keep the anti-theft remote separate from your main keychain and carry it on you. Many people bundle everything together, so if the car is stolen, the thief gets the remote too, rendering the system useless. And also, don't activate anti-theft mode just to test it out, as once it's locked, only a technician or authorized dealer can unlock it. 3. Cleaning the rubber seals around window frames. When washing a car, most people focus on the body, windshield, or wheels, overlooking a small but critical detail: the rubber seals around the windows. They may seem unimportant, but these seals collect dust, sand, and dirt the most. Over time, this grime hardens, turning into natural sandpaper. Every time you roll the window up or down, it scratches the glass, causing it to fog, reflect light at night, and lose clarity. Beyond that, dust and dirt in the rubber seals can prevent the door from closing tightly, leading to wind noise or water leaking into the cabin. In cold weather, moisture in the seals can freeze, forcing you to yank the door open, which can tear the seal or misalign the window frame. These small damages are not only hard to fix, but also cost money unnecessarily, when just a few minutes of regular maintenance could prevent them. The solution is simple. Each time you wash your car or stop for gas, use a damp cloth or cotton swab to wipe along the rubber seals on both front and rear doors. If possible, apply a thin layer of silicone spray or rubber conditioner, then wipe it down again. A small tip: after washing the car, roll the windows up and down a few times. This helps flush out any water trapped in the seals, preventing mold or dirt buildup. 2. Checking tire pressure regularly. One of the most overlooked yet critical habits for drivers is checking tire pressure regularly. You might change your oil on time or wash your car often, but if your tires are underinflated or overinflated, all that effort is wasted. Tires are the only part of the car in direct contact with the road, just the size of a hand's surface. And if the pressure is off, the car's performance changes dramatically. Sluggish handling, higher fuel consumption, vibrations, or even danger during sudden braking. Underinflated tires increase the contact area with the road, causing more friction, which makes the car sluggish, burns more fuel, and generates excess heat. Over time, this heat damages the rubber structure, leading to sidewall cracks or bulges, conditions that can cause a blowout at high speeds. Overinflated tires, on the other hand, only touch the road with their center, reducing grip and making the car prone to skidding on curves or wet roads. Both scenarios make the car unstable, often without the driver noticing until it's too late. Check tire pressure once a month or before long trips. Do it when the tires are cold, as even a short drive can falsely increase the reading. The correct PSI is always listed on a sticker inside the driver's door frame or in the owner's manual. Don't guess. If your car has a tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS, don't ignore the warning light. It's not a minor issue, but a safety alert. 1. The trick to cooling brakes for a more durable and safer car. Many drivers unknowingly make a mistake after descending hills or braking heavily on long drives. They stop the car, immediately pull the handbrake, and turn off the engine. It seems normal, but this is one of the sneakiest habits that damages the brake system. After continuous braking, the brake pads and rotors can reach hundreds of degrees. Pulling the handbrake or washing the car right after causes a sudden temperature change, warping the rotors, hardening the pads, and noticeably reducing braking performance. Experienced drivers on hilly roads know brakes need time to breathe. After stopping, park on flat ground, shift to P for automatics, or first gear for manuals, and avoid pulling the handbrake right away. Wait 2 to 3 minutes for the system to cool before locking the wheels. During this time, you can let the engine idle or open the hood to release heat. If there's an open road ahead, drive slowly for a few hundred feet to let the airflow cool the brakes naturally. Another key point: never wash the car or spray water directly on the wheels right after a long drive. The rotor's high temperature can evaporate water instantly, causing tiny cracks on the metal surface. You won't notice at first, but after a few months, squeaking or shaking when braking will signal that the brakes are warped. These small tips, like letting the engine cool after a long drive, checking tires, caring for brakes, or cleaning door seals, may sound simple, but they make your car run smoother, save money, and last years longer. A good driver doesn't just know how to steer, but also how to care for their car properly. Each small habit is a big investment in safety, keeping your car strong and giving you peace of mind on every journey. Which of these have you successfully applied for?